One last question. Let me play devil's advocate a little bit and tell you what one of our other visitors recently said. He's a food scientist, not really profiting from the food industry at all, so more or less an outside observer, but a food scientist. He said he grew up in a kind of socialist family, really concerned about justice issues and equity issues. And his contention is that the kinds of efficiencies that you see in the industrial system, the kinds of ability to distribute widely and use all of our technology and precision farming and increasingly, GMOs and synthetic fertilizer and pesticides and so forth, to produce lots and lots of food should be celebrated rather than attacked by people who are worried about justice. Because what it can do, I mean, yeah, we need to fix some of the details, but what it can do is feed the world in a way that CSAs and local stuff and urban agriculture and gardening in your backyard isn't going to be able to do. We've got 7.2 billion mouths, probably 9 billion coming onto the planet in the next 20, 30 years. And he says the only way we can do this is by using these intensive industrial methods.
I would beg to differ, and I didn't get a chance to dig into the article,
Yeah.
but I was recently sent by one of my mentors an article that talked about one of the most effective ways of creating food security is actually going to be by small-scale farming. But I just want to say that I'm not anti-business. I think we need the like ingenuity, the brilliance of scientists and people working in food corporations. We
Yeah.
need them to be on board. I just think that we need them to be invested in supporting these foundations of the food system. Like I said, just these things like we think about not just destroying the food system, but a habitable earth. When we think about like the poisoning of these just basic foundations of air, soil, water. And so I think it's about how can we be in partnership? How can people who are working on the grassroots, public policymakers, all of us kind of work and big business work in partnership to ensure that the goal is simply not profits.
Yeah.
We're actually invested in producing more food, feeding people worldwide, addressing food insecurity, but also making sure that we're maintaining and recreating a food system that's going to be efficient and sustainable for our children and our grandchildren.
Right, so make it more sustainable. And also, you could ask, I would think, these corporations to start making food that's a little healthier, right? So we could feed the world, but it'd be nice if we weren't feeding them all the processed packaged food, right?
Yeah. I need to stay. Yeah, exactly.
All right, well, Brian Terry, thank you so much for joining us here in the studio from afar there in San Francisco.
Yes.
We really appreciate your time and look forward to seeing some more cookbooks and other work coming from you in the near future.
Thank you so much for having me.